this?
Welcome to the Carla Cohen Show.
Welcome to the Carla Cohen Show.
I bet this every Thursday. This is fantastic.
It gets you in the mood, doesn't it? It does get you in the mood, doesn't it? I'm good. I literally just got a message off of a sausage dog telling me that Tom's been called out to an RTC and that he's going to jump on when he can. So yeah, like this is live. This is what happens.
So stay safe, stay sexy.
Yeah, that's
Tom,
the one.
please.
But I think he will jump on if he can make it back in time. But Andy, how you been, mate? I know you've been a bit down.
I've been a little bit under the weather, my friend. But do you know what? It's Thursday. It's the Carla Cohen Show. So looking forward to. I've got a ton of stuff here to show off, and we have a very special unboxing that is Thought Bubble related, and we have a special guest who's going to be popping on as well.
We do. So Tom will be joining us. We've got a special guest joining us. I'll just quickly dive into the chat. We've got Triple G. All right there, sir. He got a fair few decent CGCs the other day. He did pretty well. Mm-hmm. Check it out. We've got the Poptimist, another person suffering from COVID. It done so well not to catch it, and then unfortunately he did. Dave collects, yeah. He hasn't been in for a while. So yes, please, something good to break up my work day. We hope so anyway. We really do hope so. We've got Marcus989. Hello and good evening. Evening to you. Mr. Oldroyd, the sexiest man on YouTube. Evening all. Who else have we got? We've got ABZ Comics. Evening all. Let's go. Absolutely killing it on Instagram. I'm quite jealous of some of the content he's been putting up lately.
Listen, some of those pictures he's putting up with comics, and he's like, oh, I just bought this, September last year in a bulk buy. And I'm just like,
as you do.
Whoa, that is amazing.
As you do. We've got Panels in a Half Pint Superhero. Sure. Evening, sir. Thank you very much for checking in. GP Venom Comics and Collectibles. We have, is there anyone else? Have I missed anyone? Oh, yes, we've got Mrs. Connie Dalton. Hello. I wonder, is she in Newcastle? Is she at home this week? Who knows? Who else? We've got the Padawan Collector.
Padawan.
All good. And I think that's everyone. Sorry, there we go. Sorry, it's been a while. Work has been crazy. So glad to see you guys tonight, and it's great to have you as well. So I reckon, without further ado, we should just get. It's a close call between Mark and Tim as the sexiest men on YouTube.
Should we have like a sexy off?
I reckon we should have a sexy off. I reckon we should. But I can see him grinning in the background, so I'm just going to get him on. Tim from Hobgoblin's Hideaway, how are you, sir?
How are you guys?
Is your face going red, Tim? Are you like...
The beard just covers it, mate. It's all right. Nothing sexy about me, and look, unfortunately. How are you both? You all right?
Yeah, good. All good. Awesome. All good.
Thank you for having me back on.
No, thank you. We've been sitting on... I was going to say it. I was going to say we've been sitting on a package, but we have been sitting on a package and we've been dying to open it up. So these are, if you remember, guys, we organised through Tim and the Hobgoblin's Hideaway to get some books signed at Thought Bubble. And Tim was good enough to send those books off to CBCS for us, and they've come back and they've been sitting here for a good 7-8 days, and we've promised ourselves we're not going to open them up. We're going to keep them for the stream, so we are going to unbox them and see what our scores in the doors are. So yeah, I'm excited. Charlie,
you deserve a medal for that. I tell you, sitting on the boxes for that long.
Do you know what? I'm so excited because I can't remember what comic I got graded. I've been racking my brains and I can't. And like just to show you, right? So I'm going to take it out. But this box, look at the size of this box, right? So this is it, and it comes with orange Watsits. I don't know what colour other Watsits could otherwise be, but these are Watsits. These are prawn crackered flavoured Wotsits. They're lovely.
Prawn crackers.
But
they're cheesy.
They are. Who's going to go first? Andy, I think you should go first, mate.
Should I go first? Okay, cool. So, as with all of Tim's packaging, it is phenomenally packaged. It is bubble wrapped within an inch of its life. So, thanks to Tim and thanks to Lucy for making sure that they get here safely.
So we've got to do that, haven't we?
Absolutely. So, bear with me here, guys, till I'm not looking at the scores. Actually, this is a good time for bringing out this bad boy if I can find it. Do you remember my little thing that I put on top of my slab so you don't see the scores and the doors? I should have brought that out. Let me see. Okay, so first one that we have. So this is the build up for it, guys. So I've always been looking for this book, Commandy issue number 1, some Jack Kirby goodness, and Tim came to the rescue and found one for me. So thank you very much, Tim and Lucy, for sorting that out for me. So very happy with that, and I think at some point they should do like a TV show or a movie or something to do with this.
Yeah,
I think it's a given. So yeah, that's the first one. But let's get the book that I went for. Should I take it out of its wrapper? Yeah, I thought I should. Oh, this is exciting.
While you're doing this, I'm going to kind of unwrap mine because it looks.
Yeah, it takes a little while. So
I'll crack on.
Right. So this is my book. Something is Killing the Children, issue number 1, and this is the local comic shop day foil variant. So I think it was the 7th printing of this.
What do we reckon we got in the chat? Let's. What do we reckon?
Yeah, let's have some guesses. So let me tell you the backstory on this book. So this book was ordered from Coffee and Heroes in Northern Ireland. So it travelled via the post to myself, which isn't too far to go. And then obviously I've had it in a hold all the way to Thought Bubble, got it signed by James Tynan, and then it's been passed over to Tim. It's went all the way to America, it's come all the way back, and then it's come back to Northern Ireland to me. So it's been about this comic. So that's a little bit of it. So I think it's going to be reasonably high grade. I would be happy with anything above a 9.4 for this. But I'm happy to hear everybody's suggestions. So apologies for and because it's one of those foil ones, it's quite hard to get but the signature is perfect. I love the silver and the placement and stuff like that. So what do we think, guys? What are we going for? I'm not going to ask Tim because Tim knows what it is. Charlie, what are you thinking?
I'm going to go for, I reckon, a 9.8. I'm going to go for
Oof.
Yeah,
Oof.
Why not? Go for it. Let's start on a good one.
So we've got Panels and Pinks, that's went for a 9.9, Charlie.
Okay.
GP Venoms went for a 9.6.
Yeah, we've got 9.9, we've got 9.6, we've got an 8. We've got Adam Hills 9.6, Triple G 9.6. The Poptimus a 2.6 after you split a Jaeger bomb on it in Weatherspoons. Dave collects 9.9 and then he changed his minds and went 9.8. And then ABZ 9.8. ABZ has also said the package in that box looks like the stuff that Triple G has on his face for the quiz last night and week of Dawn of Comics, and I thought they were Wotsits. So we've got 9.8. I think the consensus is 9.8 across the board. So
okay.
What we get?
9.8.
Oh,
That is awesome. I'm so happy. I am so happy. So yeah, it says witness signature James Tynan, the 4th on the 11th or the 13th of November, and that makes it even more special because obviously it commemorates a date that we were all in Thought Bubble.
Yeah,
hungover.
Your hungover memory probably can't remember it. So the book now,
yeah, I definitely was at Thought Bubble. I definitely was.
It was at Thought Bubble.
That is awesome. And can I just say, like I'm this, I think, what is this, the second CBCS slab that I have, and they are absolutely solid. So I can't recommend it enough. And I'm not just saying it because Tim's on, but I can't recommend the service enough that Hobgoblin Hideaway has provided. It was absolutely flawless. So if anybody is considering getting something slabbed by CBCS, then definitely give Tim a nod and he'll sort you out.
Indeed we can. Indeed we can.
I'm well excited. My heart's going, right? So I've kind of...
Have you remembered the book yet?
No, I've just seen the back of it, right? So it's House of Slaughter #1, right? I'm going to face it down because so you can't see. Let me just put off that, right?
I should have just replaced it with My Little Pony #1, shouldn't I?
Right. I was going to say, yeah.
So this is House of Slaughter. Hold on, let me just take it out of the packaging. All right, let's have a look. Right, there we go. Right, so this is House of Slaughter #1, signed by James Tinian at Thought Bubble. This is the foil cover as well. So if you can see it, here we go. That's the foil cover. What are we going for on this one?
9.8.
I'm so excited. So stupid.
This is actually, guys, this is the most excited I've ever seen Charlie in my life about anything. So, yeah.
Yeah. So what we're going for, we've got... someone's going to have to let me know when Thought Bubble tickets go live. Oh, don't worry. We'll be doing like the run up to Thought Bubble again. We've got a new jingle and everything. So... Right, so what have we got? We've got Panels and a Half Pint Superheroes going for a 9.8. We've got GP Venom going for a 9.8. Andy?
I'm hoping for a 9.8 and a 9.9 for you, mate.
We've got Phil's 9.8. Any more? Right, I'm going to... This box has been sitting by my TV for the past week and a half. Right, so I'm literally just going to go right. I don't know. What side would it be on? I'm just trying to think.
Lift it up above the thing that I done and just go. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. So Mark's saying 9.6. So this is the House of Slaughter #1 foil cover. Oh, yes! Get in. Yes. That's awesome.
Like, I was pleased for you. My one of the same book came back at 9.6. And I was bigging it up on my unboxing, saying about, these foil covers, they're normally 9.8, and then I dropped to 9.6. So I was pleased that yours came back higher, mate.
Mate,
I was really pleased for you.
I'm over the moon, and this is the first CBCS slab I've got. And when Andy got his, I think he bought one of yours on a claim sale.
Yeah,
they are solid. Like they feel much better than a CGC. I'm not going to lie, they feel like more sturdy than a CGC.
Yeah, they don't have that creakiness to the, when they bend in the middle, you don't hear that creaking. So I like them. I think they're nice slabs.
This is, what a way to start showing 9.8, 2 9.8s. I'm so excited to find out what Tom got as well, because I just want to know now, like, where is he? Why has he got to bloody be called out to work? It's ridiculous. It's a bit of a joke. Like, he knows what we do on a Thursday. It's
I know those people having accidents. Jeez, come on.
I know it's bad, but what like, I'm over the moon. Like, it's like Christmas all over again.
I'm glad you both like him. It was it was a really quick turnaround. I don't think I've had such a speedy turnaround before. I know we put them on a kind of super high fast tier to get them back for you guys as quickly as we can, but they were literally booked in near Christmas, and they were back with us like the start of January. So it was such an awesome turnaround on them. I know there's a lot of people waiting on CPTS at the moment.
Honestly, that was I'm ecstatic. Like, yeah, like I'm like a kid at Christmas. I'm over the moon.
And I think the thing is as well, see once you get the first one back, it's like you get the bug. And you want to get more, and you want to get more. So I can see why like people get lots and lots of like CBCSs or like CGC and do their unboxings and stuff like that, because it is very addictive. And I know that I've certainly got plans for at least a couple more J. Scott Campbells to send Tim's way to get them done. So yeah, we'll be giving you plenty of business, Tim.
No problem at all, mate. We had a big chat over the Christmas period and what we were going to do with CPCS. So at the moment, we're really happy we're moving forward with them. We've had a good chat, and they're kind of delivering. They had a little bit of a slowdown before Christmas, and they're really delivering the goods again now. So we're really pleased with them. I'm pleased to still be providing that service for everybody in the group. So we're happy with that. We're really happy. I was happy with my results as well.
Absolutely, yeah. So for people in the chat and people who are watching the rewind, Tim, you go live on Facebook, and you have the Hobgoblins Hideaway Facebook group that people can go and join. Do you want to tell them a wee bit more about that?
Yeah, so obviously the group's been going just over a year now. We're trying to make it a community rather than just a normal kind of Facebook group. We do live claim sales, we do unboxing, we try and give tips and tricks on how to maybe prepare your books for signing, onto kind of claiming back your import-export fees if you've been hit with those. We try and mix it up and give as much information as possible. We're not too far off 1,000 members, so we're really pleased with how it's grown. You know, especially for a group where we're the only people that can kind of post in the group. So to kind of have a group like that and still be nearing 1,000 members, we're really pleased. I think we're about 22 short before we're going to do another milestone giveaway. So, you know, if anyone's not in the group, please come along and join. You might have a bit of fun. You might learn something. You might teach us something. So.
100%. I've literally just put the link in the chat there. So if everybody can take a minute just to go and add themselves to the group and see if we can get closer to that 1,000.
Awesome. I appreciate that. You can see me gloat as well on this bad boy.
Oh, yes.
Look at that beautiful thing.
Did you notice that, Charlie? He always has to one up us, doesn't he? We're happy with 9.8s, and then
Tim, it's been great having you, mate.
Go. See you later, Tim.
But no, that was great. You did that, and that's the thing. You did the unboxing on your Facebook channel, and I think
we did.
About 20 came back, and it was great. Like, and I think
we try and keep it all. Sorry, but we try and keep it all exclusive to the group, even the offers. I'd rather roll them out to the group first and try and give a little something back or reward people for being part of the group before we then put it on other groups, and that seems to work, and people seem to enjoy that. So,
is that something you would consider, Tim? What GP's just said. Wish you had a YouTube channel, Tim. I don't do Facebook.
Yeah, we do. There is a Hobgoblins Hideaway YouTube channel. In honesty, I started putting the unboxing videos on there when we first started, but I'm not a technically minded kind of fella. I'm a bit old knocking on now, so it was taking me so long to get the videos onto YouTube. So we just thought, let's just do it live. But we will in the coming year. We're hoping to get the boys involved a little bit more as well. We're going to be building a website as part of our son's work experience. He's going to come and work with us, and we're going to teach him how to build a website. But we've got lots planned, and hopefully that'll be more content on YouTube as well.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome.
That's wicked to hear. Like, honestly, like, and when's your next one? You 4th of Feb is the claim sale.
5th of Feb.
5th of
Got
Feb.
5th of Feb on the Saturday, 4 o'clock until I just fall down in a heap. It'll be going on till late. There'll be cheap comics, £1 to £5, and then we go into the variants and the kind of key comics, and then loads of slabs as well. So there's lots going on. Kicking back in the new year with a bit of a swing. So.
Nice. I said backstage to you guys, the Hobgoblin Hideaway claim sales is like having a night out in.
It is. You get your beer, you get ready, and then you just sit down for the rest of the night. That's it. Done.
We did it with the first couple.
You wake up in the morning, you go, how much did I spend last night?
with the first couple of shows, you know, we were having a bit of a drink while we were doing the show as well. But I think people cottoned on to just wait until a bit later in the night, and the discounts will be flowing. And we used to get so many messages. What did I actually buy from you last night? To the point we had to stop it. We just said, look, if you're buying something, write it down. We got so many comics going out the door, we can't keep track of them all. So,
well, I think one of the slabs that Andy bought, he messaged me next morning. Was like, I think I bought something from the Hobgoblins Hideaway show the other. I can't remember what it was. And then when it arrived through the door, he was like, oh yeah, this is what I bought. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. It won't be the first and it won't be the last.
But
good to hear.
This is over the moon. I'm just going to show it again because I'm absolutely ecstatic. This has a sort of foil issue.
If you're going to show yours again, I'm going to show mine again.
Yeah, and then Tim, honestly, go on then. Yeah, you got 2 9/8s and it gets trumped by a bloody Wonder Woman 9.1.
Go on.
Oh no, what's this?
Oh,
what's that? Oh, look.
That's my my Gerald Perel sketch that he did for me at Thought Bubble of the Hobgoblin. It's an absolute beast.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
I remember you was commenting on that, sounding about like the intricacy of the lines and stuff.
Yeah, it's one of those ones. If you see it in person, and I kind of maybe I sounded a bit ungrateful when I first got it.
Yeah, you did.
When it's up, when it's up close and it's kind of loads of intricate lines, you don't appreciate the actual artwork. You've got to kind of put it down and move away from it and look at it from a distance, and then they all kind of blend into each other. The work is absolutely phenomenal on it. I couldn't be happier. So
that is so good, and I think the Thought Bubble guys are going to be sort of releasing the dates for this year's show. So I know that as soon as that happens, we're going to be looking at booking and stuff like that. So I dare say we'll have another reunion in November to look forward to, all going well.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. It's the first time I've been to the show as well. I think the excitement that you guys had on your build up to it had a knock-on effect. I didn't have any intention of going, and I kept speaking to Luke saying that I think I've got to go. I think I've got to go to the show. There's too many people there not to.
I think the fact that you rocked up, I think it was about 8:30 on the Friday night after a 6-hour drive, and was just greeted with like I think Jaeger bombs and stuff like that. I think it was it was great to have you there. And I think I'm really looking forward to this year as well. Like, is it November already? Because I'm ready to go.
Yeah, 100%. It'd be good.
But so, like, we're done with the CBCS team. You are more than welcome to stay if you want to go. It's up to you. You can sit, you can chill out. It's totally up to you if you want to do some content.
I'm gonna get back to work. Got loads of work going on with my other job, so got auctions to build and comics to grade. So
Lucy's like that. Come on, let's go. You've had your fun.
We found out before we came on that Lucy doesn't actually exist, and nor does the dog. It's an automated little machine called Alexa, and Tim just presses a button when we want to hear a female voice. So Tim feels part of something. So yeah, that's it. That's what we found out today. So that was great.
Been practicing it for years as well.
But yeah, no, Tim. Honestly, thanks for sorting these out and stuff. It's been great, and it's
you're welcome, guys.
You're going to have plenty more. After seeing this slab, you're going to have plenty more coming your way. So,
no problem at all. I look forward to the workload.
That's all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll keep you busy.
Make sure that you go and add yourself to the Hobgoblin Hideaway Facebook group, and sure, if you've got any questions about CBCS and submitting your books and stuff like that, hit up Tim. And on the 5th of February, Tim and Lucy will be doing the claim sale. So make sure that you join for that and buy some books.
Yes, indeed.
Appreciate the show, guys.
No, appreciate coming on, Tim. Thanks so much, mate.
No worries, guys. Take care of yourselves.
See you later.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
What a start.
Mate, what a way to start a show. That is incredible. Like a 9.8 CBCS. That's how things are done, man. I really like these slabs, man. Like, I really, really like these slabs.
I'm not going to be happy until I get a 9.9 in something, to be honest.
The chat was pretty on it. They had literally like 9.8 across the board, so they did pretty well. We do have a few more people that have joined the chat. We've got Tainted Catalyst. Hey fellas, just discovered your channel and have been binging previous episodes at work. Love the content. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much.
Nice one.
Great comment. It's absolutely buzzing tonight. I'm over the moon. Literally, this is wicked. Connie Dalton, I was going to say the first time I heard of Hobgoblin's Hideaway was one of Triple G's haul vids, and he had no clue what he'd bought. Literally, that's a bit like us today. I literally couldn't remember what I gave to get signed and gave to Tim. I was literally, it was a double whammy for me. I was happy that it was that comic, and I'm happy that it was a 9.8 as well. But yeah, we've got some questions. Poptimist, 100% I'll be going again. Yeah, that would be great. I'm sure Mark will as well. I'm sure Triple G will be there, and a fair few others. Mark Oldwood, did you convince Carla to come to Thought Bubble? Not yet. We're still trying to work on that. I think once the tickets get released and they release the submissions of who the guests are going to be, etc., I'm sure we'll progress. But fingers crossed we can get her and Lucio there. That'd be great.
Absolutely, and just like without going into names, there's a few other people that we're in chats with to see if we can organise something for Thought Bubble. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting Thought Bubble for the Colour Comic Show this year, even more exciting. So, and a busy one.
It's going to be wicked. But yeah, look, Pete's already there. He stood in the queue. There you
go. That was the thing. Every single morning, I seen
me and Al
with
his tin of beans.
Yeah, I always seen Pete standing in the queue with like a stack, and I'm talking guys, a stack of comics, and he's so organized because there was at one point in the show that me and him were just sitting having a chat, and he was going through all the books that he had got signed, and he has them in like order with like all the names and like post-it notes and stuff like that. What a legend!
I just remember I woke up and mine and Tom's hotel was across from Thought Bubble, and I remember waking up, looking out the window at like 7:30, and I was like, "There's Pete," and I was like, "I'm going to get dressed, I'm going to go over and see him." And it was great, it was wicked. It was the first time we met face to face, and it was awesome. He had his little bag full of comics, absolute legend. I'm looking forward to seeing loads of people there this year. Andy, we're on a roll with like stuff to open and stuff like that. So do you want to crack on? Do you want to carry on?
Absolutely.
Go for it, mate.
I've amassed quite a few books since we last done a sort of show off of the stuff. So let me start with this. So Incredible Hulk issue number 3. This is a David Nakayama variant cover. I also picked up the cover A as well. And this is going to be one of the books that we're reviewing today. So I hadn't read any of the Hulk stuff. I'd sort of been saving it because I'd heard a lot of negativity, let's just say, about the book and stuff like that. So stay tuned. We're going to tell you all about what we thought about issue 3. So we're talking about Strange Academy, I think, a couple of weeks ago. So I get back on the wagon, Charlie. I get back on the wagon.
You did.
And this is the first cover appearance, I believe, of Gaslamp.
Yeah.
So I haven't read the issue yet, but I'm looking forward to diving in and seeing what that's all about.
Now I heard on Bleeding Cool that they're cutting it. I think issue number 15 or 16, one of the later issues. That's it. That's going to be the end of.
But they're going to restart it again, I believe.
They're going to restart again in a couple of months. So it's going to go on a hiatus and then it's going to start. But Scotty Young has warned, like, be prepared for some emotional trauma.
Oh, so, I don't think. I might just bin this book then. I'm not ready for emotional trauma. I don't do emotional trauma, to be fair. Next up, we have Star Wars issue number 20. And we have, obviously, Black Chrysanthemum on the cover. So I think everybody's going a bit crazy about that because of the Book of Boba Fett. So I was happy enough to pick that one up, and I picked it up for a couple of quid, so I couldn't say no. This came in my pull list. So this wasn't in the bandwagon. This was me just picking this up at normal on my pull list. But, you know, if anybody wants to pay me 15, 20 quid for this, then they're more than welcome to, because I'll happily sell it to them for that amount. This is going mad on eBay. I don't know why. Now, this was a pickup from Panels and a Half Pint, Sean. So I went to pick up some books from Sean at his house last week, and he had a little gift for me, a little act of kindness Christmas present.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, so this is House of Slaughter, issue number 1, and this is a 1 per store variant. And this is from the good people at Coffee and Heroes in Northern Ireland.
Massive congrats to Coffee and Heroes, by the way.
Yes, indeed. They're expecting a little Coffee and Hero.
He follows wrestling, so me and him watch AEW and we talk all the time. And there's a wrestler called Adam Cole, and obviously his theme tune is Bebe, and he said, "Yep, there's going to be another Bebe in the house." So yeah, massive congratulations to him. I'm not sure if he's going to be at Thought Bubble, so.
No, I think he'll be otherwise engaged when he's at Thought Bubble. When we're at Thought Bubble, I should say. Speaking of AOKs, my good friend Bruce Knight, who is a fellow jock collector, sent me this AOK. So this is a Raid and Raid 2.
Great films. They are
steel
awesome
books.
films.
And this is obviously jock artwork on. Let me just fix that. Jock artwork on these. So big shout out to Bruce for sending those. And not only did he send those to me, he sent me some of these are old school jock artwork. These are the Battletech trading cards.
Jock signed a few of them for you at Thought Bubble, didn't
he? He did indeed. So these were ones that he had doubles of, and I didn't have in my collection. So I think I'm almost there about collecting them all. But yeah, I got a few of those signed at Thought Bubble as well.
I think it's safe to say you've gone a bit jock crazy in the last couple of weeks, haven't you? You've pulled out some absolute beauties of what you've got, and
mate, ask and you shall receive.
There we go. Look at that segue, eh?
No, I love that. It's almost like we've done this before, Charlie. So, guys, I do like to peruse on eBay and buy some stuff. And I found this particular item on eBay. So this is the Art of Jock book.
I'm just going to give you a little rub, Andy, and make you big, mate.
Make me big, thank you. Oh, was that as good for me as it was for you, Charles? So this is not just the normal Art of Jock book. This is the Mondo Deluxe version, and this, I don't entirely know if I can do this justice, but this is how this bad boy comes, and the book is obviously here. But it also comes with some signed prints, and there was a lot of other things that I believe this guy must have collected on as a Jock fan himself, and they were in here as well. I was delighted to pick this up, and let's just say that I got this for a very, very good price. This retailed for about $175 when it was first released, and I think it was limited to 500. But this is extra special because this is an artist proof edition, and there's only 10 of these in the world. And I didn't realize when I was buying it that it was an artist proof. So I am delighted to have this in the collection. And I would recommend, if you've never read this book, is to pick up this book. That you can get the normal version for like 30 quid on Amazon, and it is absolutely stunning. It is fantastic. If you haven't seen the video where we interviewed Jock, we looked through some of his artwork and his posters and stuff, and all the work that he'd done for Star Wars. That's all in this book, and it's beautiful.
That was, mate. That was when you told me that you picked that up. I was like, "Are you actually serious? Like, you've got, the gods were looking down on you. The gods were looking down on you."
Yeah, I think the beauty of it was I didn't realize what I was buying. I didn't realize it was the Mondo Deluxe version for the price that I got it at. And what made it extra special was the fact that there was lots of extra things signed in it, and it was obviously 1 of 10 in the world because it was the artist proof edition. So yeah, needless to say, I was happy with that.
That's wicked.
Action figure segue, I think.
Why not? Why not? Killer collectibles. Why not?
Killer toys. Should we do like a killer toys segment?
Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
We can let the people in the chat decide.
Let's evolve.
Yeah, indeed. So in DC, my favorite character is Lobo, and as soon as McFarlane Toys was bringing out this bad boy, I could not resist in picking it up. And we were talking to Tim backstage. This is another rabbit hole that he's not going to get into, but it's too late for me. I'm already knee deep in that rabbit hole. Guys, you need to see this one.
Oh, mate.
Feast your eyes on this. Again, it's DC Multiverse McFarlane, and this is the Swamp Thing, and this is one of their mega figs, as they call them. But this is the deluxe edition, so it comes with Swamp Thing with these little horns and stuff like that there. This is an absolute beaut. So again, Swamp Thing is one of my other favorite comic runs. So what I'm trying to do is to get the first appearance of the character, and then have one of these bad boys sort of displayed in front of it. So this is awesome.
That looks awesome, man. You've been busy, mate, ain't you?
Mate, it's been treat yourself week for Andy. Picked this up, Moon Knight issue number 9. This is a fantastic Declan Shalvey cover. This is a 125 for issue number 9. I was delighted to pick that up. Got it for reasonably cheap. Now, come closer, guys. This is a little bit of a story here. So I've been picking up all the Bad Idea books, and the only place that you can get the Bad Idea books is through Forbidden Planet. So I've got them subbed, and it's the first time I've ever done a subscription through Forbidden Planet, and it's probably going to be the last, I would say. So you'll see here that I've got issue number 2, I get issue number 3, and I get issue number 4, and I get issue number 5, but they haven't sent me issue number 1 yet, so I can't start reading it. I don't know either. I'm lost for words. I don't know. So Forbidden Planet, if you're watching, could you send my issue 1, please?
That's forbidden. That's Forbidden Planet for you, though, isn't it? Let's be honest.
And these aren't cheap books by any stretch of the imagination. And they had all 4 of them jammed into one bag with no backing board. So I was like, come on.
It's payday and Andy is already skint. There we go.
Mate, you have no idea.
But there's more. There's more. Is there more? Of course there is.
There is more. Mate, sit back, relax, grab a coffee. We've got all night. Well, no rush. We've got Moon Knight issue number 3. Did anybody see the Moon Knight trailer? You'll have seen this guy appearing. So if you find that, I think this is the 3rd print as well, so it's a really low print count. So if you find this in the wild, pick it up. Got a couple other books here. Thor, the Mighty Thor. This is issue number 378 and 382. So this is the first. This is the first appearance of the. Got all mixed up there. This is the first appearance of Thor in the battle armor. So I think this is going to be a key with regards to the movie. And I just thought this was a cool cover because
that's great.
It's probably one of the best representations of him in the battle armor. Last but not least, guys, I picked up the Flintstones issue number 1 from 1977, and it's a nice, tasty newsstand copy. And I got this in the. We're not sponsored or anything, but I picked this up by these guys, Vinova Collectibles.
They're very like you see a lot of them over on Facebook, like in the Facebook groups and stuff. That's where you kind of see Vinova.
So definitely it's vinova-collectibles.com is our website. So make sure you go check them out on socials and stuff and tell them that the Killer Comics guys sent you. Is that enough, Charlie?
Yeah, that's all right. I'm just I forgot where I was now. I kind of went down a rabbit hole.
Everybody's like, wake up, everybody! Come on.
I was listening to your dulcet tones of how much you'd picked up. But Tainted Catalyst just been accepted to Hobgoblin's Hideaway. I've not bought singles since I was in college. I'm going to have to dig out my singles from 2005, 2007 to get some slab now, aren't I? Yes, you are. Yes.
Absolutely, 100%. And Tainted Catalyst, let us know if you're on socials, like if you're on like Instagram and stuff like that. Hit us up because we everybody that comes on the show, we like to add them onto our Instagrams and stuff. So
we've got ABZ Comics, nice store variant there, Andy. No, I'm not sure what one he's talking about. He just showed 62 comics, so there's probably one of them. We've got Wakazasi's Tea House. Greetings from Japan. Nice to hear a Scottish and English accent talking comics.
That is the bit that wins best name so far. That is Wakazashi's Tea House.
Wakazashi's Tea. Yeah, that's amazing. We've got Connie Dalton saying the jock is. Oh my god, that's so cool. Triple G. Wow, that's stunning. Welcome, Hydra. Welcome, Luke. Hope you're doing well, mate. Hope you're doing well. Mark apparently said it's a Scottish. It's an Irish accent, not Scottish. Not sure what's going on there. We've got Lovely Jubbly. We've got Wakazashi's Tea House at Geek Eye Comics. Nice to catch it live. It's 6:34 a.m. on a Friday here. What better way to wake up and have a cup of tea or coffee and listen to us two knowledgeable folk talk about comics?
Knowledgeable.
Here we go. We've got Phil. That Lobo is killer. We've got Tea House. That book of jock art looks deadly. Anyone reading his recent Batman comic? Yes, we are.
Yes.
If you haven't already, check out the interview we did on him. And at the end of the show, he shows us some fantastic first sketch approvals that he did. And yeah, it's pretty decent to get into. Triple G just got onto the Hot Toys. Bought 4 this month. Shocking. Literally, you guys are going to be so skint. Luke said, not doing too bad. Cheers, bud. Busy as always. ABZ, nice, Andy. I used to have the Dark Knight Returns limited hardcover, which was issue 2 of, I think, 4,000. First 50 was proof copies. Alas, it was part of a collection, volume 1.0.
Nice.
Right, we've got Phil. Sounds like Andy's wife. It's payday, and he's already skint. Who else have we got? We've got ABZ. Forbidden Planet sent me my issue 1 many months later. Literally, there's something in that sentence you just said that is an absolute joke. We've got nice Thor box, Yabba Dabba Doo. Darren is tempted to get the Derek.
Wait a minute, Charlie. Whoa. You need to do that Yabba Dabba Doo with a little bit more feeling. Like, did you ever watch the films?
Yabba Dabba Doo. There we go. That'll do.
That's better.
That's better. Poptimus is tempted to get into Derek Chew's Miles Morales. Whereabouts in the UK are you from? I'm from Southeast London. Bit of a Cockney twang going on. Andy is from, where are you from, Andy?
I'm from Glasgow.
He's from Glasgow. So we're spread across Europe, UK anyway. But there is a third.
We were spread across Thought Bubble last November.
There is a third member, Tom, the third sexiest man on YouTube. He's actually a fireman. He's out at an RTC at the moment. So I got that message by the fantastic Ragnar, the sausage dog. Didn't know this dog's well talented. It sent me a message on Instagram. So how talented is that? And then we've got great. So I don't really know I can compete with what you've already shown, but I'll give it a go.
Give it a go, mate.
All right. So up first, I'm going to show this. So a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about Jonathan Ross, and we were talking about like how he got into comics and stuff and everything like that. Hold on a minute. With Kishi's Tea House, he's a nice one, mate. I'm from Manchester originally, living in Japan for years, huge comic geek. I visit Manchester quite regularly, so you're going to have to tell me if you know some secret comic shops there. We'll have to definitely hit us up.
We now have a source, Charlie, for all those action figures and stuff, the specials you can get in Japan.
Yeah, we do. So, yes, we do. Yes,
we'll slide into your DMs.
We definitely will. So anyway, I digress. We talk about the comics. We were talking about Jonathan Ross a couple of weeks ago and how massive a comic collector he is and everything like that. This guy to my right sent me, after talking about it, he sent me this lovely comic that Jonathan Ross and Tommy Lee Edwards wrote in 2010 and 2011, I believe it carried on to. I think it was 6 issues. And if you look closely, it's signed by Jonathan Ross and it's signed by Mr. Tommy Lee Edwards as well. I was shocked to get this in the post. So Andy, it was absolutely amazing. This was great. So thank you so much, mate, for sending me that in the post. And then also, me and Andy was talking about Radio Apocalypse, and we found a deal, or Andy found a deal on eBay, didn't you? And it was I wanted the one. What was it? The 1 in 25, wasn't it? I wanted the
125, which I'll just get in a second. 1 second, I'll show.
Yeah, get it. So it was the 1 in 25 comic that I wanted, and I was like, well, I'm going to have this. It was the tattooed bike rider. So I was like, right, I'm going to get this. I'm really looking forward to this. Little did I know that when Andy got this comic for me, which he's holding up, that is my comic, I also got the 1 in 5, and I got the 1 in 10 as well for a fantastic price. I think it was what, 20 quid, 23 quid.
It was, yeah. I mean, the 1 in this 1 in 25 was the book that we both wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And the shop in America was selling the 3 of them for like 20 quid. So snapped up a couple of sets of them, got them sent to my stackery. And then arrived last week. So I think I'm going to be sending this to CGC for you, Charlie.
Yeah, definitely.
My next one.
Yeah, definitely. If you can do that, would be great.
100%.
And then, so we're talking about Forbidden Planet. This come to me today.
Tasty.
This is the Lee Bermejo variant cover for the... Oh, no, it's the standard cover, actually. Detective Comics 1049. Now, I've got this, but I've also got the signed Lee Bermejo coming from Scott's Collectibles as well at a 9.8 as well, because I couldn't pass this up. I was going to send this off, and then I was like, well, it's coming from Forbidden Planet. It's probably going to have some damage to it. So it's an absolutely fantastic cover. Like, seriously, the detailing on the posters and everything like that is great. So I got that from Forbidden Planet. It came without a board, so I literally had to put that straight in there. But it is a great cover.
That's stunning. I thought you pointed that book out when it came out in previews.
Yeah.
And the colour work on that is absolutely phenomenal. Yeah.
But I also got this as well. While we're talking about slabs, I managed to get this on an eBay auction. You might have seen this on my Instagram. This for me is Wonder Woman. It's incredible. Like, the detailing on this, the fact that someone's drawn that is, I could only aspire to be as a good artist as that. That is sensational.
I would highly recommend everybody to go and check out Joshua Middleton's work. The stuff that he's done on Catwoman, the stuff that he's done on Wonder Woman is absolutely phenomenal.
It is absolutely. It's probably one of the best slabs that I own. So yeah, I do like a 9.8, but I'm quite partial to a 9.6, as we will now find out. So regular followers of the Killer Comic Show and Instagram and stuff like that, you'll know that in February last year, I submitted or I bought the 1 in 25 Liber Mijo Berserker issue #1 from A Place in Space. I didn't see the comic. I kind of bought it on release, didn't manage to get it, managed to buy it. A year later, I still hadn't received it. I was like, oh, okay, right. So we're coming up to a year now. I'm kind of like, right, what the hell is going on? Are we going to get this comic? I managed to get it in. And when it came back, I'd already said to A Place in Space, please don't tell me the grade, because what I'll do a live unboxing on the show on Thursday night and it'll be, whee, everyone's excited. They sent me an email and they told me the grade. Okay, fair enough. So I like my 9.8s, right? So, but then I kind of got a bit, got the ump a bit and stuff like that. I was like, for fuck's sake, blah, 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 blah. So I'm just going to put it to bed, right? This is a 9.6 Berserker, right? I can't find, I'm sure there are quite a few on the census, but I couldn't find one. But having looked at it, a 9.6 is fine. And like, I'm happy with a 9.6. Like, I'm over the moon. I've got 2 9.8s here. A 9.6 is still a near mint comic. So
absolutely. 9.4 and above is considered near mint. The problem with CGC and I guess CBC, any grading company, has made us all want this elusive 9.8. But what we don't realize is that 9.8s aren't that elusive. No. Everybody has them. Yeah. So I think it depends what you want it for. If you're going to get them graded to flip them, then obviously you want the highest grade as possible. But if it's for your PC personal collection, then it doesn't matter. You're just
do you know what? And I think I've just waited. I think I was a bit disappointed because I'd waited over a year for this. So like after waiting nearly a year for it, you're kind of like, oh, the expectation is going to be it's going to be a 9.8. It's going to be great because it came straight off the shelf, straight in. As soon as like they mentioned they were selling the 1 in 25, I was like, right, I'll have it. And oh well, it's a 9.6, but hey ho, it is what it is. It's for my personal collection. I'm looking forward to collecting more and more as we go on. But yeah, it's a 9.6. It's nothing wrong with it, but it's just I wish it was a 9.8 because I think I'd waited over a year for it, so I was expecting it big. But
do you know what you should do, Charlie? You should start sending your own books to CGC.
Well, funny you say that. So what we've done, I've literally recently signed up, and obviously the incentive is there. So I've sent off my first lot of comics. But the good thing for me is that I live that close to the office. I can literally just go to the office, drop my comics in, and then when they're ready to come back, they send the email, they give me the call, and I go and collect them. So I'm saving on postage. So I've got 5 comics going off.
Charlie, how did you find out how to do that process?
Well, basically, there is a guy called Perpetual.comics, and he put out a fantastic video. I think it's only 1 of 4 videos that he has on his YouTube channel, and it's very insightful, and it is great. Just tells you step by step how to sign up for CGC, how to send your comics off. And even though I did do that, I still got the bloody form wrong and messaged him and was like, why is it asking for US postcode and stuff? I can't remember. Like, why? And so that's it. It's a very insightful video, but yeah, I still got it wrong.
No, definitely. Like as you say, I've only got 4 videos up on my YouTube channel, and they're all basically guides on how to send your CGC away in the UK. So definitely go check them out if you get the chance. But as I say to you, Charlie, see once you send your first batch, it gets addictive, and you want to send more and more and more on. And it's definitely fun. You know, if you consider you're sending them and you're in control of it, it just means that hopefully you're not going to be waiting over a year for your book.
Yeah. And I think, do you know what? Like, it is what it is. It takes ages. Sometimes it takes ages. Sometimes don't. Everyone knows the troubles that CGC had. But yeah, I think it's just the fact is that my office is right near the CGC office. It kind of just takes out the middleman. So I ain't got no worries about anything like raw mail being damaged and stuff like that. Because as soon as it enters CGC, it's insured.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
So that's what it is. But that's all I've got. I'm pretty happy with that. So, but yeah, we've had some busy stuff this week. I think you've just literally knocked the ball out of the park with your 67 comics that you got. We've got the Poptimist. My 2 Alan Quay Marvels are 9.8, just waiting on the 3rd one. I think that's it. I think there's 2 slab collectors. There's the ones that kind of do it for their personal collection where a grade is irrelevant. They just want to preserve their comic for the love of, and they just want to see their comic never untouched, and they just want to keep it as history. Or there's people that will buy the grade that they want. And I think some of the comics that I've got here, I would like them as a 9.8, but I know if I send them off, they're not at that high standard enough. Like they might have like the little corner or a little spine tick or something. So it's that decision where you kind of think, well, I either want to buy it at a 9.8 or I want to take the risk and have the excitement of me sending it off myself.
The team there in America say it the best. If you want to do it right, collect what you like.
That's it.
That is it.
That is it. And I think that's all the collectibles out of the way. I mean, Firehawk has just joined us. Hello, sir. How are you doing, Ryan? Hope you're well, mate. We've got Panels and a Half Pint trying to decide if he wants to send any more to CGC. Let's be honest, Sean. You know you're going to, so stop debating.
Let me know, Sean. Let me know, and I can.
Actually, see, he answered his own question. Actually, I know I will.
There we go.
Here we go. By the way, great pronunciation of my channel name. Have you had any Waziasi experience at Geeky Guy Comics?
Not since Thought Bubble, November last year.
Not since Thought Bubble when I woke up next to Not Quite Mint. And I'm not sure that was a Wacky Zazzy's tea house. It might have been something else. But there we go. I went a bit wild on Berserker variant set when they came out. There was so much advert pop-ups on loads of websites for the comic. Hypnotic.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, we had Matt King, the co-writer of the comic on the show. And I think all credit to him and Keanu Reeves for writing a fantastic comic, but it kind of, the hype was already sold before the comic had already come out. So I think there was so much hype behind it. Everyone jumped on his bandwagon. I did it. I was like, oh my God, I've got to get the first issue. I've got to get the Lieb image. I won in 25. And it's not the best comic. It's 6 issues in now and it's not the best comic. So
Matt did say on the video, and make sure you catch that video as well, guys, is that issue 8 is his favourite issue because there's a major thing that happened, a major turning point, and I always remember that when we were chatting with him. So definitely worth maybe keeping on it if you're already on it.
And that's it. That is the thing. And then Tim's still in the chat. Only time I'm happy with a grade job if it's original artwork where I don't care what grade it is. I think it's just
true.
It is true. It is true. But I'm not quite deep enough to get into slabs. Oh, do you know what? Literally, nor was I. Now I've got a collection of like 9. So it don't take long. It doesn't take long. It's a bit like omnibuses and trade paperbacks, which this man here knows about omnibuses and everything. So it doesn't take long. And I think ABZ says it's the best. Rabbit holes can be small at first, then they get deep laid back. Yeah, they get deeper, they get wider, and yeah, that's it.
More expensive.
It is more expensive. But I think that's enough of us talking about and showing off what we collected.
Charlie, we're 52 minutes into the show and we haven't even talked about a book yet.
Oh,
should we do it?
There we go. Look, it's the Killer Comic Show, and we are only literally getting to the part of the Killer Comic Show where we actually talk about comics. This is it. January the 26th was obviously yesterday. We are week number 4, but we're reviewing week number 3. And as always, we do the killer covers of this week. So up first, it's you, sir.
It is. I've went for this bad boy. This is Stray Dogs, Dog Day issue number 2. And this is a Rabbit Comics Dexter homage exclusive variant. First and foremost, guys, can't shout out the Rabbit Comics guys anymore. Go check them out on Instagram and go check out their shop. They do some fantastic exclusives. But this one caught my eye. The artwork is stunning. The eyes, the fact that it's a Dexter, and it has the greatest tagline, long time no pee. That's what, like, mic drop, there we go. That's the reason why this is the killer cover for this week.
I'm literally just going to type. I'm just trying to type up the quiz. I really do like this, and it just makes me want to read and not read the comic and watch Dexter again, because Dexter's on like season, 11? I think he's just started again. But yeah, it's a great cover. It is a great cover.
It's that smile that he has on his face. He's kind of
I can actually see Dexter though. Do you know what I mean? I can see Dexter.
That's the beauty of this book. It's like, I think I'm not entirely sure if you need to be a Dexter fan to actually get that it is a Dexter homage. But even if you take the whole fact that it's a homage away, I think on its own merit, this is just a stunning book. And it's the one that caught my eye for this week. It was kind of a like slim pickings this week. I think the three of us picked the best of the bunch. I know that me and Tom were kind of having a back. I
Yeah,
picked
you
the
did.
book that Tom has picked. Didn't. So yeah, it was slim pickings, but I think we've picked the best three. But this is my pick, guys. So all you Dexter fans out there, make sure that you vote for this book.
There we go. Look, yeah, look, Stray Dogs had knocked the homage game out of the park. There's literally, I think every time a Stray Dogs comic comes out, there's about 30 or 40 different variant covers. I think for this issue number 2, there was about 46 variant covers, and there was like, I think there was like 25 store variants as well, store exclusives.
Yeah.
So Andy, great pick there. We've got Tom who's up next. Now, obviously, Comic Deal might be in the chat. If he is, I think he's going to be refreshing that button and voting for this. This is obviously Usagi Yojimbo, Lone Goat and Kid issue number 1 by the fantastic Inhoyut Lee. I don't think this guy can do any wrong, to be fair. Inhoyut Lee absolutely kills it with everything he touches, and I'm not a massive Usagi Yojimbo fan, but I'd get into it. I'd probably get this just for this artwork.
I've become more of a Usagi fan.
Really?
I do wind up James a lot because I know that he loves it and the Turtles. But I've been sort of reading a few of the Usagi books and I'm enjoying them. But this cover is absolutely stunning. If you look at the arms of Usagi,
Mm-hmm.
that the detail and the definition in that, and just the look that he has on his face, I think they've absolutely killed this book. So this would have been my pick as well. So I can't blame you guys if you vote for this one. But this is an absolute beaut.
It's awesome. Awesome.
Did you put the vote up, Charlie? Because it's saying it's complete.
No. That was another. I pressed enter by mistake, but there's another one going up soon. So this is Tom's pick, and then mine is obviously Detective Comics 1050. This is the Natalie Sanders variant B. There was the variant A, which is the trade, but this is probably, I think me and you have debated about this, like when I mentioned, I showed you this comic about 3 or 4 weeks ago on the previews that this was coming out. This is probably one of the best work Natalie Sanders has done.
I 100% agree. I love Natalie Sanders covers, but what I do find is that the face is kind of like the same on all of them. Mm-hmm. But this one, and I don't know if it's just because she's wearing a mask, that it's probably one of the best Natalie Sanders covers I've seen. Mm-hmm. And in fairness, this is, I think you can just buy this. It's not like a store variant or anything like this. So the fact that you can just pick this up standard cover price, it'd be a no-brainer. But
this is also available to buy at a 9.8 as well, which I think I'm gonna end up doing, because this is great. Like, this is awesome. I like the magazine cover. So there's this one, and then there's one that looks like it's from a magazine and stuff, which is quite similar to, I think, the Miracle Molly one that I've got behind me. So I think I'm going to be purchasing that. I think it's only like 60 or quid that you can kind of pick it up for. So, but yeah, so that's my cover of the week. We have Stray Dogs, Dexter homage. We have Usagi Yojimbo from Inhoyut Lee, and then we have Natalie Sanders with Bat. Sexy Bat variant B. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. The votes are it will keep going throughout the night. But we've got
sexy dog, sexy rabbit, or sexy bat.
There we go. Yeah, exactly. We've got Tony Fett in the chat. How you doing, mate? Nice to have you here. We've got not the John Jiang. It was the simplest yet beautiful one. We've got Tea House. Love you, Usagi Yojimbo. I always feel like it needs more exposure. Over 35 years, Stan Saki is an absolute legend. He is. Absolutely. We've got Boom, Charlie Wins. That first Usagi Yojimbo issue I ever read, really enjoyed it. And File, I haven't picked it up yet. Is it reprinting the classic? The chat is on fire tonight, guys. It's wicked.
I was going to say that, and I can see that you've just put up the voting for the 3 books. So everybody in the chat, make sure that you pick your favourite book, because what we do at the end is just announce the winner. But we're all winners, aren't we, Charlie?
We are all winners, and it's not the taking part that counts. It's coming first. So So on that note, let's move on. So this is obviously the Killer Comic Show. This is week 3 review. So if for the new viewers in here, we review the comics from previous weeks. So we're 1 week behind, and we kind of do that so there's no spoilers, and we can't be held responsible. So if you haven't read these comics yet, you're a week behind. What are you doing? Are you sleeping under a rock, or are you actually doing productive with your life and working? So anyway, this is week number 3 review. Now we have Animal Castle issue number 2. We've got the fantastic Silver Coin issue number 8. We've got Donny Cates' Hulk issue number 3, and we have Rain, which is actually from 2 weeks ago, but it was that good we couldn't go without getting it on the show. So up first, Andy, take it away, sir.
Silver coin. So yeah, this is issue number 8. So the story this time was by Matthew Rosenberg, and the artwork and cover art, as always, was by Michael Walsh. Where do I start with this one, guys? It was another silver coin-esque story. We're 8 issues in. Whenever you read one of these books, you know what you're getting, you know what you're expecting, and I think for me at this point, I don't know if I'm silver coined out at this stage, because I don't know if I'm getting into them looking for something that I'm not, expecting. I'm certainly not getting it because I'm getting the same kind of a story over and over again. I just need it to lead somewhere. I just wonder if it had finished at issue number 5, would that have been enough? And maybe move on to a second volume with like a different kind of an edge to it. This particular issue is set in New York, and it's like you first meet this character called Mr. Python, who is like this big money business guy. Obviously he's a big businessman, and he has loads and loads of money, and he buys a coin collection. So this is where it kicks off. This is where you're introduced to the silver coin. And one of the other characters in the book is a cleaner. He cleans the offices, and it suddenly becomes infatuated with this coin collection that his boss is effectively.
His name Henry. It's Henry, isn't it? Is it Henry?
Henry, I think it is. Yeah. So the premise is kicked off straight away. You kind of can tell what's going to happen. It was almost paint by numbers at this point. So the more infatuated that he gets with this coin, the more that you can see that it's going to sort of take over. But at the start of the book, I was kind of confused whether it was going to be the businessman that was going to start killing people, or whether it was going to be the cleaner. And it was after like maybe the first 5 or 6 pages, I thought, you know what, it's a wee bit disjointed at times. But I think overall, it's a solid read. I think if you read this just on its own and pick this up, this is your first silver coin issue, I think you will enjoy it, because it kind of has that sort of theme of the rich versus the poor, the haves and the have-nots, and it kind of shows you that money can't effectively buy you everything unless you have this silver coin. And with every other silver coin book, we know what happens at the end. The evil guy, or the person that has all the money, basically gets killed. They either kill themselves, or in this case, I'm going to spoil it, he gets thrown out a window. I thought the artwork for this, especially some of the more graphic, gory scenes, were pretty much perfect. It kind of summed up what you wanted to see in the book. But yeah, I think for me, Silver Coin is running out of steam a little bit. I just don't know where it's going to go. Maybe it will pull it back like it did for issue number 5, where it gave the backstory, or maybe it will lead into the fact that you'll see at the end of this book that the coin sort of falls from the building, and it sort of drops out the guy's hand, and basically a beggar, like a, how would you describe it, like a street guy basically picks it up, and it would be interesting to see if he becomes the lead character, and it shows you the journey of what happens when he has the coin. But for me, this wasn't a killer, this issue. It wasn't a binner. It was just a solid, okay read for me. What do you think, Charlie?
I've got to say, for me, Silver Coin, now this is one of the comics you kind of put us into. I think you picked it one week, and I think we had to read like 3 or 4 issues right off the bat. I cannot wait until this comes out as a trade paperback, because I'm looking forward to reading them all again. For me, the Silver Coin is one of the perfect horror comics that is out there recently. I mean, obviously we've got Rosenberg on there. We've got the likes of Ram V. It's interesting. It's a really good horror story. And for me, I know Mark has said like Silver Coin 8 was weak compared to the rest in the series. I really, really enjoyed this one, and I thought it was up there with one of the best issues of Silver Coin I've read.
Oh wow, really?
Like, I just kind of really got involved in it, like from straight off the bat. I kind of assumed where it was going. Like the cleaner's out, he's down on his luck, and there's a really good scene in it. I think it is. Yeah, it's here. There's a really good scene in it where the cleaner kind of starts to. He's been he's been cleaning this floor for years, and then he's been taken off this floor, and you kind of realise that the rich guy might have everything, but he's asking the cleaner for advice. He's like, why? How come you're so happy? And he's like, well, you could have all the money in the world, but I've got to love my family and I've got to love my job. And then he kind of notices the coin that the rich guy's got hold of, and he kind of gets this niggling feeling. I wonder what that coin does. I really want to find out what it does. And then I think the fact that he kind of gets hold of the coin, or he wants to get hold of the coin. And as you can see in this panel on the left, he's kind of talking to the new cleaner that's taken over from the floor that he was cleaning, and the voices in his head start talking. And I think this scene here of him walking in front of the bus and all the other cleaner just turns around and says, hey, it gets pushed in front of it. The line work and the detailing on this comic on issue number 8 was amazing. And the fact is that Henry literally just carries on walking by as if nothing's happened, and yet he's just been hit by a bus. Obviously it's set in 1968, so like the curses and the mythological things going on, no one really believes in it, which is why I think this is such a striking comic, because it makes you want to believe in it. And this is one of the comics that I read, and I was like, I feel like I'm looking through the office window of what's happening.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
And the fact is that Mark Rosenberg's done the majority of the comic in 9 panels.
Yeah.
It's great. I really, really enjoyed it. And I'm all invested in this, and massive shout out to you for doing that. I just think the way that some of the artwork is quite vivid, and it makes you like look into it quite intricately and think, oh, look at what's in the shadows and stuff like that. And it's a horror comic. You're kind of hanging on the last page, and like, what's happening when I turn this page over? What's it going to be? What am I going to be greeted with? And the ending was just awesome.
It's the twists and turns that I like, specifically in this book, and I think Silver Coin as a whole is going to be a sum of all its parts. So I would say for anybody that's in the chat that hasn't read it or is watching this in the rewind, definitely buy the first volume, the first 5 issues. I thought the first 5 issues were pretty much perfect, especially that 5th issue. And I think for this, it's probably best that you pick them up, as you say, Charlie, in a series, because this is kind of like a horror anthology. And it's just something you can sit down and enjoy. I'm just wondering if are they going to tie it all in? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I feel a bit guilty now because Connor's like, great, I don't need to read it now. I did give you the disclaimer at the start of it saying it's a week behind. So if you haven't read it, we're not at fault. But yeah,
Charlie,
I'll definitely read it, because there might be things that you notice that we don't. Ryan has said, is there an end game to this that all ties all the stories together, or are we going to keep getting loose tie-ins? I don't know, it might just be like, what was it, Hotel that we read a couple of weeks ago. That kind of ties in to the first volume. So somewhere along the line, it might tie in, one of the characters might come back, and you kind of...
And that's what I would love to happen. Like if issue like 9 and 10 bring it all full circle, which makes you then go back to the first 5 issues or the first 8 or 9 issues. And then you go, oh yeah, that all makes sense now. And I think at some point it has to do that just to close it up.
And I think what Tim's saying as well, do you think the ordering of the story is spoiling the book? Origin of the Coin was in the middle of the run rather than at the start of the last book.
It's a good shout, actually, because I always say that you could read it backwards from issue 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And some would say that would actually set you up better. Because if you're going into issue 6, 7, and 8 without reading issue 5, then you've not got any context.
And I think that's what Ryan said. I think it was intended to be 5 issues, but it blew up so much that they had to hurry and put more out. Literally, it was meant to be 5 issues, and I think at the release of issue number 5, they knew it was going to kind of be big. Issue number 5 was Ram V's.
No, issue number 7 was Ram V's. Issue number 5 was the backstory, which for me was the best issue. And
there we go. Yes, Marcus said yes. Issue number 5 is the one that ties it all together. ABZ, if I get spoilers, I just drink so much beer I can't remember the next day. That's the way to go. That is the way to go. This is the way.
You'll be absolutely drunk then by the end of the show.
This is the way. Look, the Mandalorian has spoken. There he has. Wazaki's Hotel is great. Have you read The Crimson Cage by the same writer, Pro Wrestling and Macbeth? Don't get me started on Crimson Cage. Crimson Cage is amazing. It's incredible. If you haven't read it, just jump on it. It's another horror comic that just throws my favourite things together, wrestling. I don't like Macbeth, so I can't really say that. But yeah, honestly, it's a great comic. For me, this was a killer. I've got to say, it was a killer for me.
Cool.
But yeah, next up we have Animal Castle. Now, right, so this was my pick. This is by Ablaze Comics. Obviously, this is Animal Castle issue number 2, written by Xavier Dorison and the art by Felix Delep. The main cover is by Felix Delep. Cover B is the Azalar the Rat variant cover by Felix Delep. We've got the 1 in 20 incentive Azalar the Rat Virgin cover, and then we have the 1 in 30 black and white sketch incentive of Silvio the Bull. Do you know what? I can honestly say that this is such a great read. Like, honestly, I know it's going to sound like a pun, but Ablaze are setting the comic world for animals alight. This is.
He done it. He went there. Oh
I know,
my god!
right, but honestly, you may read it, Animal Castle, and you may have read issue number 1, and you think, oh right, this is basically, it says what it does what it says on the tin. It's an Animal Castle, but throw them assumptions out the window, because it ain't about that. It's not like that at all. These animals are taking over, and this issue for me just had it all. I like the violence in it. I like the storytelling in it. There's so much more to it. There's political elements in it that I'm not really keen on, but the way that they do it and the way that they portray stuff is great. The character development is really, really high. Like, I'm really looking forward to Azalar the Rat, seeing more of him and stuff. But I want to know where this is going now, because if you liked Stray Dogs, you're going to love this. I just want to know where it's going now. I want to know where it's ending. This is the first appearance that we actually get to see Silvio the Bull, who's like the mayor, who's like the president and stuff like that. I'm invested in this, though. I really, really do. And I can see why it blew up. I can see why issue number 1 went to 2nd and 3rd print, because it's only Stray Dogs that have done it. And this is the comic that Stray Dogs should have been, in my opinion. It's a killer for me.
Drop the mic. No, I would agree with you. I think if you take the speculation side of things out, this is actually a really, really good read. I think this issue in particular was fantastic, and I think Aslar, the Traveling Rat, might be my favourite character of 2022. It was absolutely amazing. As you can see here, Charlie's showing you some of the artwork as well. The artwork is stunning. It's phenomenal. It feels like whenever you're reading the comic that I read this digitally, and I just knew I wasn't doing this comic justice. You need this in your hand to read, and I hope that whenever they're doing this as a larger volume, when they're doing it as a larger volume, that they do it like prestige size, because I think this is where this book would actually shine. So this issue basically goes and delves deeper into sort of the corrupt leadership of Silvio, isn't it? Yeah, the big bull. But it does it in a sort of slightly comical way, because he just looks kind of a typical slow kind of a bull that it's all based on strength. Their way of viewing things is that if you're strong, then those are the people that are at the top of the ladder and top of the food chain, effectively. And then we meet the rat, the Traveling Rat, and the performance that he does. And you said that there was some introductions there, and he's doing like a traveling show. And you'll see in one of the covers, the second and third cover there, that's actually the rat with like, and he's showing like he does like Mahatma Gandhi. So it's almost like Mahatma Gandhi's telling the story. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I think this is kind of a like foreshadowing and kind of a reflecting like real life almost, because it's kind of a like suggesting like, Silvio is like the government, and it's not like how strong you are, it's how much basically money that you have, depends on where you are in the hierarchy of civilization. And effectively, like me, us lot are kind of like the people that are out working ourselves to the bone to get a wage, to earn more money, to go up that ladder. And that's kind of what's represented here in Animal Castle. That's what I see whenever I read the book. But I thought this was an absolute killer. Story's great, the artwork's great, and I'm really looking forward to issue number 3.
There is one panel, I've got to show it. I don't know if you can see it, but this is kind of it here, as you can kind of. This is just this is literally grabbing the bull by the horns.
Yeah, it's. I didn't expect to see a sex scene in Animal Castle, and especially in the third panel where somebody chaps the door and the text says "I'm coming." and I was just like, oh come on, the writer here is having a joke.
It was, and this is the thing. This is the thing about the comic. It's great. You think you know what's coming, and you really don't. You really don't. Like a bull in a china shop. But for me, the standout character is Azalar the Rat. Now, at the end of issue 1, you had Daisy Duck. She was giving her quote. And at the end of issue, it says, the real question is not if you can beat them, but if you want to. Now, I screen grabbed that because this panel here, she's like the main character. This cat is the main character. She's kind of fighting. She's all different things that she's fighting. But this panel here really is great. And it kind of ties into Azalar the Rat on the back there. So it's a definite killer for me. If you haven't jumped on it, I think Mark has said, thanks to Andy, I pre-ordered number 1 and variant and got them at cover price. Now gone crazy. Great stuff. Great stuff. It's definitely a killer, but I'm going to leave you with this because issue number 3 is obviously going to look insane. But it's just the artwork for me. The artwork is incredible. Like it's really great.
It's a solid story as well. You know, the artwork really complements it. The color work and the layout of the panels, as you can see in this example, it's kind of just perfect. You know, like they could have done the whole fight with Avalar and the big dog there completely different. They could have done separate panels, but just the way they've done that main picture with the panels surrounding it, I think that's just fantastic. And
I think GP Venom was right. He said it looks like the Watership Down vibe. It does. It does very much so. And I was speaking to, when issue 1 came out, I was speaking to the guys at Blaze Comics, and they was like, it's gone way beyond and above what we thought this comic would do. Like they kind of see how well Stray Dog's done, but they didn't think it would have the similar effect. And they're saying like when it went to 2nd and 3rd print, they was just like, this is insane. This is insane. And I think they're really on something, and they're really good guys as well. So yeah, Blaze Comics are killing it with this. This is definitely a killer for me.
Killer for me, 100%.
Cool. Up next, this was Tom's pick. So this is, I know Firehawk's interested to find out what we thought of this. This is Tom's pick. This is obviously Hulk number 3, written by Mr. Donny Cates, art by Ryan Otley. We've got the main cover by Ryan Otley. We have the Bjorn Berendez variant B. We've got the Marco Torrini variant A. And we have the Jim Chuang head sketch variant. What did you think of this one, Andy?
Well, thanks for asking, Charlie. So I haven't read any of this one, but I've heard lots of things about it. Some good and some very bad. So I tried my best going into this not to hear that and block.
I just dropped your cover there. The David Nakayama homage.
Oh yes, this the one that I picked up. Yeah, I was
Alan Quay variant A, variant B, and then the Tradmore 1 in 25. So
there was so many good covers for this, and there was they're calling it a cameo of a new character introduced in this, but we'll wait and see whether that is actually a cameo or a full appearance. But so what I had to do is I had to read issue 1, 2, and 3 consecutively, and I don't know if that helped with this story, but it's certainly something that I enjoyed, and having heard all the hearsay about it, I liked it, and the premise of this particular story, for those of you who haven't read it, is we've got Bruce Banner, who's managed somehow to split the Hulk into 3 distinct parts, and the Hulk's body has been turned into a starship, and that's what everybody who'd read this was going crazy about when they just read issue 1, was the fact that, wow, that's really weird and out there. But is that not the sign of a great writer where they do something completely different? Because it's dead easy to just do the normal thing with Hulk, but they do the normal thing with Hulk really well, specifically in issue 3, which is the one that we're reviewing, because there is the best kick-ass fight with a giant Wolverine where Hulk rips off his arm and stabs him in the eye with it. That sounds as ludicrous as I'm saying it. I can't even believe I'm saying this out loud. But some of the artwork by Otley in this is phenomenal. The fact that Hulk is a starship, but he's been controlled by Bruce Banner. So the whole premise of this is that is is Hulk actually, is Bruce Banner the evil person, and the Hulk is here to save the world against Bruce Banner, as opposed to what we've always understood is that Bruce Banner is trying to suppress the Hulk because he's so dangerous. And I just think the way that's been flipped on its head is superb. You brought up there a couple of panels there, Charlie. So you'll see there he basically stabs he stabs a giant sized Wolverine in the eye, and we also see a couple other panels where there's a place where all the Hulks go. So you could see She-Hulk, you could see, what other Hulks was there again, Charlie? I can't even remember. There was
I think, was there Red Hulk?
Red Hulk. There was basically all the variants of all the different Hulks that have happened go to this place.
That's the panel you're talking about. That's the one.
Yeah, that's the one. I thought that was one of the best panels, and if this has a cover like a second printing, I want that to be the cover. I think it's absolutely superb. So yeah, I think, guys, if you haven't read this and maybe you've been put off by what people have said about it, I would definitely give this a go. Visually, it's stunning. Story-wise, it's kind of out there and something completely different. And is that not why we all read comics? Yes, that's it there. So you've got all the different Hulks in this. Basically, that's where they get sent. And yeah, for me, it was an absolute killer. I was surprised that I enjoyed it so much, and I'm invested in it now, and I'll be reading all the issues. Charlie, what did you think?
Damn, I've got to say, Donny Cates is fucking killing the Hulk at the moment. This comic is. Now, we had the Immortal Hulk, we had Al Ewing's Immortal Hulk, that absolutely fucking blew 50 odd issues, absolutely amazing, great stuff. This is giving us a whole different portrayal of the Hulk. I wasn't a massive Hulk fan. I like Donny Cates, so I had high expectations for this. Have they let me down? No. I'm so into this. Like, this is something totally different that I wasn't expecting. It's more graphic than I was expecting. It's more bloodthirsty than I was expecting. There's more action. And it's just so smart in the way that we're getting to see two Hulks in one comic as the same person split between two personalities, if that works.
Yeah. It's that dynamic. It's like the back and forth and the storytelling, and you can just see that he has a plan.
Yeah.
You know, he has a plan for this.
And obviously, the panel on the left is, there's been some Marvel-related news, like subtly gone unnoticed, that there could be the potential of a Hulk's own version of the Null coming into play sometime soon and stuff. Now, in this comic, we've kind of seen him battling with himself. Is he talking to Bruce Banner? Is he talking to Hulk? Is he like, do you know what I mean? So I'm kind of if there was a Hulk version of Null coming into the forefront, that would be a great. This is only 5 issues, remember. This is only a 5-issue run of the Hulk. So Donny Cates and Ryan are packing in the punches. They're smashing the ball out of the park. Like, this artwork is sublime. Like, where he's smashing the head there. We've never seen anything like this from the Hulk. And it's kind of taking you down a different route where you think you know what you're getting with Hulk and you're not. Like that scene where he rips off Wolverine's arm, a giant Wolverine, and he's just battling with him. It's like, this is great. This is insane. There's not much more I can say about this comic. This is a Hulk comic that I'm really enjoying and looking forward to reading every time it comes out.
This is a sort of comic that if we all got together after a few beers and a few too many beers in the pub and said, okay, we're going to write and draw a comic, and what's the wackiest, zaniest version of the Hulk that you can think of? This would be it times 10.
And the thing is, and what I've seen as well, it's got darker and darker every single issue. Like, I think the first issue ended of Bruce Banner just sitting on a chair, and the whole portrayal of him, his whole body persona and everything, you just think, this man, he's finally snapped.
Yeah. And it's almost like the rage in the Hulk. You know, the Hulk has different levels of rage, and he gets angrier and angrier. And it's almost like each issue is Bruce Banner getting angrier and angrier.
And I mean, the first issue ended with Bruce Banner sitting there, and this one just ends with Mr. Ross just sitting there.
Yeah,
it's one of the best Hulk comics. I'm really, really into it, and I'm interested to see what Firehawk said. He said, "Yes, this is the first Hulk I'm very read, and I'm very excited to see where it goes. it's going to be a crazy ride. It's so bloody and graphic, but done so well. And I think that's the whole thing. Like you can look at blood and graphic and think, oh, do you know, I'm not into this. But the way Donny Cates does it and works so well with Ryan Otley, it's fantastic. Like honestly,
killer for me. Definitely give it a go, guys. I would even jump on like now and pick up the previous issues, because it's definitely well worth a read.
100%, 100 killer for me, definite killer for me. So stick with it, yes. And then the fourth comic we chose. So this came out 2 weeks ago. This was one that Andy has quoted as going to be the next comic, but I'll let him touch on that. This was great. This is Rain. It's written by who is it written by? It's written by Joe Hill and David Boomer. And the artwork is done by the fantastic friend of the Killer Comic Show, Miss Zoe Thorogood. We've got the main cover by Zoe Thorogood. We've got the John Gallagher and Uncanny Knack exclusive. We've got the Ben Harvey variant, and we have the Igor Lomov Trinity Comics exclusive. This, it never rains, but it pours. This is a great story, man. This is on the line. This is on the right lines of being something really, really good. And I know Zoe Thorogood was really ecstatic about getting this out because she worked so hard on it. And her artwork, if we go to the next slide, her artwork is something, it's an acquired taste. I think there's artists out there. I mean, if you look at Jeff Lemire, his artwork's quite acquired taste. Like you kind of had to read between the lines with his artwork and stuff. And for me, Zoe Thorogood is the same. Like her artwork is so intricate, and the line work, I would never be able to do what she does because I'm such a perfectionist. I'd want every line to be perfectly straight. Whereas if her lines and her artwork isn't perfect, it fits with what she's trying to get across, if that makes sense. For me, this is an indie comic from start to finish. This is just everything you want from an indie comic. It takes you on an emotional ride. There's character building, there's storytelling, there's introductions of crazy ass characters that you wouldn't think you'd see till issue like 2 and 3, but it just works. And these three people working on a comic, it's exciting times, and it's by Image. Is it Image? It is Image, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, it is Image.
It's like an offshoot of those guys. So I think it's like Synergy or something that it's called.
Yeah.
It's like a new division that they've set up. But yeah, Charlie, as you said, I sort of gave everybody the heads up on this one on my Instagram page and said that I had the feeling that this was going to be pretty special. And I don't think we were let down by this. I was in the first thing that brought to my attention was the fact that Zoe was doing the artwork. I think Zoe Thorogood's artwork is perfect. I love it. And it's probably they couldn't have picked a better person for this particular storyline. So effectively this first issue is told in flashbacks, and we're introduced to two characters. The first one is Honeysuckle, which you can see on the left-hand panel there. And it tells you effectively a love story. Well, it starts off what we assume is a love story between herself and Yolanda. And the whole premise of this book is that you are in, the scene is in Colorado, Boulder, and it's one of those beautiful days. The sun is splitting the skies. I think it's one of the warmest days of the year. So everybody's out and enjoying the sun. And the story kind of gives you a look into the life of Honeysuckle, and you meet different people and different friends, and it's almost like you're in her head. So she's kind of telling you what she thinks of each of these different characters, but she's telling the story in flashbacks as to the gentleman at the top there. He was fixing his roof whenever the rain started. You've got the character in the middle there who I think was like an ex-Russian stripper who was enjoying the sun whenever the rain started, and it all culminates in when the rain started.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't think much of it, but this is where the horror element comes in. And what effectively happens at the end of this story is that Honeysuckle and Yolanda are meeting up to start living together. They have a relationship. So you get the backstory of the love story between the two of them, but then that ends dramatically when it starts raining. But it's not normal rain. It's shards of crystal, effectively. I think it's like crystal shards, like almost like nails that come raining down. and what we find at the end of the story is that Yolanda is killed. So it's almost like it's an apocalyptic horror, a love story, and we find at the end of issue 1 that it's going to be a story about loss as well. I thought this was as perfect a first issue that I've ever read, and I think this is another book that's up there with the likes of The Many Deaths of Layla Starr, and this for me is going to be hard pushed not to be my book of 2022, and I know we're only in January.
Well, that's what Mark has exactly said with that. I know we're only in January, but this is my comic of the year 2022 so far. Mark, Zoe Thorogood, art is phenomenal. Do you know what? It's definitely there, and I think you've hit the nail on the head again, Mark, by saying it's a standalone story in itself, heartbreaking stuff.
Yeah.
The way that it was a single concept that literally took you on an emotional ride in 26 pages. And the thing is, the way that they got this all over, this reign happens in 20 minutes, boom, everyone's life changed. This is it, 20 minutes in 2 pages, everyone's life has changed. And I think to do that in 26 pages, to kind of get from start to finish with the amount of character building and story elements told in this, it's a massive credit to the writers, man. Massive credit.
Like David Boer's obviously well known for Canto, the writer of Canto. So you know that you're going to get quality with this book, and it doesn't fail in any stretch. The fact that David's able to get me so invested in the characters in Honeysuckle and Yolanda, and the interesting thing about this is I came away from this book, there's effectively 3 main characters in this first issue. There's Honeysuckle, there's Yolanda, but also the Shards of Crystal, the Rain, that becomes the evil protagonist in this book. That becomes its own character. And that's what I'm really looking forward to in the next few issues, is to see, what are these shards, where are they coming from, and how is Honeysuckle going to deal with the loss of Yolanda. I think it's excellent.
I'm really, really looking forward to it, and I can't wait. I'm just literally reading a message from Tom. He says, "I'm so fucking sorry, guys. Had to attend a 2-car pile up. Sorry to let you down last minute." Tom, it's fine. Like, work comes first. We are only sitting here talking about comics. You're out saving lives and shit, so don't worry about it, mate. Absolutely. It's fine.
The most important thing is he stays safe. So big shout out to Tom.
And I bet he looks sexy in his outfit.
Charlie, but yeah, he always looks sexy. Charlie, I'm going to do something here, and I hope you don't mind,
mate. It's not my show. Oh, wow, that's a statement, man. Love that. That was.
I can't recommend this book enough. This is an absolute killer. This wins our gold seal of approval from the Killer Comic Show. So if you haven't picked this up, guys, please go and read this. It's phenomenal.
It really, really is. It honestly is a great reading. Some of the covers out there as well. Tom picked the Ben Harvey variant 2 weeks ago, and he says that my favourite is the John Gallagher. Like, John Gallagher just brings something special to covers and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty great, pretty incredible. To be fair,
it's an absolute killer, and I can't wait for issue number 2. And this is the reason why. Because I know we missed it last week, because we had a fantastic guest on, and this is actually the reason why I actually said to the guys, look, we need to review this. This is too good to miss. So I'm glad we did.
And while we are talking about killers, let's have a go. While we're talking about covers and everything, let's go over to the poll. We've got in joint second place, we've got Stray Dogs with 26% and Usagi Yojimbo in 26%, and running away with it at the moment with 48% of the poll is Detective Comics. So yeah, it's been pretty close, to be fair. So with that, we've just mentioned Tom. we've just mentioned Tom, so I think it's only right that we kind of. Now, he's not here, but obviously we can't get rid of the section that he's put so much work into. This is the Killer Keys for February the 2nd, which is week number 5, which is coming up next week. Obviously, you can still follow Tom over on Not Quite Mint _UK _comic shop. I think it's just changed it to Not Quite Mint now. And then obviously the notquitemint.com. He has picked We've got the Monkey Prince issue number 1, written by Jean Luen Yang, art by Bernard Chang, and this is available on February the 2nd, 2022. I don't know much about this comic. Tom's the man in the know. I don't know if you know much about it, Andy.
He's a monkey who's a prince, and it instantly, I'm not going to lie, it instantly looks like a comic that I would never ever pick up or read. So it's probably got that going for it. But yeah, there's a reason why this is a killer. I just don't know why.
But what Thomas said, he said because he can't be here this week, he's going to kind of, over the next couple of days on Instagram, he will post these comics and he will let you know why they are keys. He doesn't know that he's doing that yet, so I will let him know after the show, but that's what he's going to do for you guys. So yeah, that's Monkey Prince issue number 1. Really looking forward to using this. GP Venom, I used to love watching Monkey Prince. If you just want to drop in the chat what you think the premise of this comic might be, that'd help us out quite a lot. We have The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 88, written by Kelly Thompson, art by Michael Dowling, and yeah, any premise of this, Andy? No.
So I think this one is about a Spider-Man who is amazing, but again, like the previous book, this is instantly another book that I won't pick up. I just does it not look like, I'm sorry to bring the show down even further, but does it not look like she's doing a poop?
It does. It looks like she's got a severe case.
Is that a squat or is that a squat?
It does look like she's got a severe case of spideritis. So yeah, that's The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 88. Then we have Sabretooth issue number 1, written by Victor Laval and art by Leonard Kirk. This is Wolverine's half brother. He's got a Sabretooth. He's really enjoying what he's doing. And he's getting.
Can you tell people that are watching at the moment and probably in the rewind that we haven't a clue why these are killers, and we weren't expecting to do this segment?
So basically, for the new viewers out there, we have a Killer Keys section which Tom Malin, who runs Not Quite Mint, picks every week, and he is in the know. He knows why they're going to be killer comics. They might be killer comics for a first appearance of a character, first appearance of an outfit, first appearance that the story arc has appeared and stuff, or it might just be a first issue and it's something that Tom likes. So we do know what we're talking about comics. We just don't know what we're talking about these comics because they're Killer Keys, and we have no reason why, because the guy who does the Killer Keys is a fireman saving lives, and he's left us up Schitt's Creek without a paddle.
I would pick this one up though, guys, because I do like Sabretooth as a character. I always remember in my younger days, I picked up a Wolverine cover, and it was one of those wraparound covers, and it had Wolverine and Sabretooth fighting, you know, that famous cover. So yeah, I'd pick this up, but I don't know why it's a killer key.
Look who's still on. Yeah, we are still on. We've only just started. Copy, mate. We've got the Fantastic Four Reckoning War Alpha issue number 1, written by Dan Slott, art by Carlos Magno. Yeah, it looks like the thing stuck between a rock and a hard place. It looks like something's going to happen with the Watcher. Yeah, it looks great. Anyone, Andy?
No, nothing. Absolutely nothing. This would be staying up on the shelf, and I'd walk straight past it to find a good indie book, because this is all the attributes of a comic that I wouldn't be interested in reading. But yeah, the Watcher.
Yeah. And then obviously, Tom, you can just scan this and it will take you to his Instagram, and you can find out why these comic are Killer Keys, because he's going to add to them over the next couple of days, as I mentioned. So yeah, that's the Killer Keys. Great to find you guys and chat. Off to work now. I'll be back. Like and subbed, of course. I think it's like 7:30 in Japan now, isn't it? So yeah, he's had an amazing start to the day. So yeah, that's the Killer Keys done. And then obviously after the Killer Keys, there's only one way to go, isn't there, Andy, really?
So yes, this is Killer Indies again for next week, February the 2nd. Let's do it.
You've got control,
Am I
mate.
moving forward?
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that I can control. This is great, right? Okay. Now the show starts, guys. I'm in control. First up, we have Noctera issue number 7, written obviously by Scott Snyder. Everybody knows that. Artwork by the fantastic Tony S. Daniel. This is the start of a new arc, as far as I'm aware. So we're back after the one shot, which was enjoyable. And it's telling us here that lights, camera, action. This is a synopsis. Scott Snyder and Tony S. Daniel rip-roaring hit series returns as Val, Bailey, and the Ferryman continue their mission to bring back the light. But with all new shade variants around every corner, darkness will reign like never before. Meanwhile, Blacktop Bill meets some old friends. So, Charlie, I know you're well invested in Noctera. I think I stopped reading at issue number 4. I just need to catch up. But is this something that you're looking forward to?
100, like Noctera, Scott Snyder. This is probably some of the best Scott Snyder work that he's done in recent years. This is like, I'm loving this. I picked up the Bootstrap Bill, back boot Bill, whatever his name is. I'm really invested in Blacktop Bill. I'm really invested in it. I don't even know the characters' names, but this is
that was his brother.
his brother was Blacktooth and Bluetooth Bill, weren't they? But yeah, it's a really good comic. Like like, I think this has been signed up for a TV show. So obviously, like the covers are going through the roof, as they always will on Evil Bay. But yeah, it's great. I'm really looking forward to this second arc. I've recently bought the first trade paperback, so I'm looking forward to getting that. But yeah, this is one that's constantly on my pull list.
And I'd say, from if you were into the speculation game, then this is probably a book that you want to pick up, because the synopsis is telling you that there's all new shade variants, and also Blacktop Bill meets new friends. So you've got guaranteed new characters there, first appearances. So definitely want to consider. Next up, now this is something a wee bit different that I thought I'd throw in. This is the official Image timeline. This is a one shot. It's written and it's various artwork, obviously, but it's Jim Valentino who's doing this. And this is to commemorate the 30th anniversary for Image Comics. And Jim Valentino is the Image archivist, is that a word? And co-founder. Archivist, thank you. And what he's basically doing on this book is kind of giving you like a warts and all company history. And it will go through chronologically all the books that have been released. There'll be covers, there'll be photos, there'll be different milestones, and behind the scenes events. In the synopsis, it says, in the company's marvelous history. Obviously, Image was created off the back of Marvel. This is a little bit more expensive. This book is a one shot, $7.99. So you're probably going to pay £5 or £6 for this, but it's 64 pages. And as an Image fan myself, I think this is one that I'm going to pick up to have a read.
You know, you said about Archivist. I've literally just finished a program on Netflix called Archive 81. I can't recommend it. I can't recommend it enough. And it's funny. Like, I've never really heard the word or been interested in archivistivity, if that's even a word. But having watched that TV show,
I couldn't even say the word.
Archivistivity. I think that's a word. I'm going to go with it. But having watched that and now seeing this, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, something a wee bit different that I thought I'd throw in there just to shake it up a little bit, especially if you're an Image fan. This next book is one that I think is going to be pretty special. This is New Master issue number 1. And this is written by Shobo Coker, and art is by Shof Coker. So the brother duos are Nigerian brothers. Shobo and Shof are going to be presenting this new comic. And this is a blend of science fiction, adventure, drama, and a vibrant Afrofuturism, which I thought was a fantastic term, and a striking vision of West Africa under the thumb of alien colonizers. A motley crew of outcasts find themselves caught up in a power struggle for control of an ancient artifact with immense power. So first and foremost, the synopsis sounds great, and I thought the cover art looked fantastic. I haven't seen what the interiors look like, and sometimes obviously cover art can be a little bit different than the interiors, but the fact that Shof, I think, has done this cover, I would hope that the interiors are going to be similar. So I think this is going to be one that's going to go pretty much under the radar, guys. So definitely see if you can pick it up before it blows up. And again, it's by Image Comics. So
yeah, definitely.
So that's New Master issue number 1. Next up, I have Primos issue number 1. This has been a superb AWA upshot, which I know we're big fans of. And this is written by Al Madrigal, and the art is by Brian Reber. The synopsis for this is: centuries ago, two Mayan brothers constructed a spacecraft that sent them hurtling into outer space, returned to Earth only to find their culture and civilization destroyed. One of the brothers vows revenge and seeks to decimate the planet with intergalactic technology gathered on his travels. Now, to prevent this, his siblings creates a contingency plan that activates the world's protectors, descendants of their own family. Now the fate of the planet lies in the hands of three cousins scattered throughout Central and North America who have never even met. So that's Primos issue number 1, which I think will be a good read. And I believe that is my indies for next week. And if anybody wants to come and follow me on Instagram, they can take a little picture of that or go find me at perpetual.comics on Instagram. And I'm also Perpetual Comics on Twitter. So I'm almost at 1,000 followers on Instagram. So heading towards that number. I don't know if it means anything, but it's cool anyway.
You get a golden turd. You get a golden turd for your letterbox when you get to
not for the first time. Not for the first time.
Oh, that's great. But then we also, after that, we have killer trades. So obviously this is for next week as well. Andy?
Yeah, I think I picked it.
We should pick this all the time.
Yeah, no, I picked a couple of books for this week's trades. The first one was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is the IDW collection. This is volume 1 trade paperback. It's going to come in at about 144 pages. And it's going to be roughly about $40. So what we're talking there, about 25 quid, 30 quid.
Yeah.
So this collects the first 12 issues of IDW's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ongoing series, plus the Raphael, Michelangelo, Donatello, Leonardo, and Splinter micro series one shots. So you remember those covers where it was just like, the base colors and the character's profile. This looks really cool. It just looks good. I'm getting sucked into these trades and hardbacks because they visually just look great on display. And I think I'll try to get some inner James and pick up some turtles and try and appreciate the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So yeah,
I'm looking forward to reading this one.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I think there's going to be a number of volumes of this. I've seen the different covers and stuff, but it just visually looks superb. Is this one of yours?
Yeah, I picked this just to annoy
definitely
you.
Not mine.
So obviously, this is the Fight Girls trade paperback. It's written by Frank Cho with the colours done by the fantastic Sabine Rich. Now, this is basically a female-led, very sexy version of Battle Royale, done by AWA Upshot. Now everyone knows Frank Cho likes to draw women's derrieres. He's done a few of Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel and stuff like that. But this is basically, it's 10 hard as nails women. They fight to the death to win a cup. And then at the end, like they enter different battles, and each round someone dies and someone's a champion. I just thought this was a fun comic. Like I really want to find out who the Queen of the Galaxy is going to be. Now I've been reading this. Now I know we reviewed issue number 1 and we kind of all sacked it off, but I kind of stuck to it, and I'm actually really enjoying it. Weirdly. So yeah, this is this Fight Girls issue number 1, 144 pages. It's not 144 pages. I just haven't changed it over. It's about 45 pages.
Copy and paste.
Hashtag copy and paste. I don't think it's $39.99 either. It's probably going to be about $19.99. It is written by Frank Cho. The cover and colours are done by Sabine Rich, and it does come out next week, February the 2nd, and it's done by AWA Upshot. So I'm going to buy this and I'm going to post it to Andy just to piss him off.
Yeah, I read issue 1 and didn't enjoy this one at all. I know a lot of people do enjoy this book, and I know, Charlie, you're partial to a derriere, so I can understand why you enjoyed the first issue. Next up,
Venom.
Is this one you picked? I'm not too sure. Venom by Donny Cates, volume 3.
So this is obviously Venom by Donny Cates, volume number 3. This is the hardcover. It's 320 pages. It is $39.99, so it works out about £26. Written by the man that can do no wrong, Mr. Donny Cates. Art by Ryan Stegman, and I think this is the final chapter of Venom, when we finally get to see the battle with the the darkness himself, and it is Noel. Yeah, this is Collecting Venom, issues 26 to 35, and a material from the Free Comic Book Day 2020 Spider-Man Venom. It's great what Donny Cates done with Venom. It's good what Al Ewing and Ram V are currently doing with it. If you're a fan of Venom, I'd definitely get into it. The hardcover of this does look great. I have heard news that apparently when you take off the sleeve, you kind of get something else underneath. I'm not sure how true that is, but I'm definitely going to be picking up this. I've got volume number 1 and volume 2, so I definitely will be picking this up. So yeah, that's Marvel Venom by Donny Cates, issue number 3, out next week. Pick it up.
Nice. Ah, guys, probably the pick of the bunch for me. Something that I've been really looking forward to. I think there was quite a lot of delays on this. This is Sea of Sorrows, trade paperback. This is 128 pages. It's going to come in about $17.99, so probably less than 15 quid, 14 quid you'll pay for this. This is written by the fantastic Rich Duick and phenomenal art by Alex Cormack. We had the pleasure of interviewing Rich and Alex on the show, so make sure after this you go and check that interview to get a little bit of a synopsis and rundown of what Sea of Sorrows is all about. But this was one of my highlights of last year, maybe even the year before. I think it kicked off. It's been so long, and this collects the first 5 issues of this particular series. Can't recommend this enough. The artwork alone is superb. And I know that Rich and Alex are good guys. So from the Killer Comic Show, if you guys can go and support Sea of Sorrows, we would very much appreciate it.
If you have a look at Richard Dueck's, I think it's his Instagram or Twitter, he put up some images of him receiving this and flicking through the pages. There's some special stuff in there, and I think on the interview that we did with him, they mentioned that they were throwing extra stuff in. So I think there's like some unfinished artwork from Alex in there. But this is out of the pick of the bunch. This is definitely mine. I'm really, really looking forward to this.
Yeah, I've got this in pre-order, so I'm really looking forward to giving it a read. Can't recommend this enough.
There's quite a few trade paperbacks I'm picking up lately, and this is one of them. And then obviously this is the pièce de la résistance that I'm looking forward to. This is Made in Korea. Collects the whole complete 6 issues, 100%. This goes without fail. This is going to be amazing. 160 pages, $16.99, written by the one and only Jeremy Holt, art by the fantastic Jules Scholl. It comes out yesterday. It came out yesterday, and we're throwing it in because it's just amazing. And we have got something to talk about, not this slide, the next slide after. So Andy, do you want to add anything to this?
I'm so glad that you included this. Jeremy and George have absolutely, knocked this at the park with Made in Korea. And I have because I wanted to support the guys, I've got a couple of these pre-ordered. So I'll be gifting someone a copy of that. I can't recommend that enough, guys. But yeah. Oh, did I press that when I shouldn't have?
That's all right. That's all right. So yeah, you've kind of just perfect onto the segue. So that's the killer trades. We are into the business end of the show now. So we go to this, and this is a new slide that I've put together. We're going to kind of keep monitoring it because last year I can't remember who won. I think it was Mark, not Mark. I think it was we got a Mark. I think it was Andy that won it in the end. But we've got Connie. Said,
no, I did. I definitely did, Charlie. I definitely just to confirm.
You did. Made in Korea is also on my list. We've got Triple G saying looking forward to picking this up. We've got Mark in my top 10 comics of 2021 and ABZ Comics. Nice to see the trade out for Made in Korea. It's out today. It came out yesterday. Make sure you do get it. Now, obviously, let's go over to the poll and who won this week. So let's go for it. Drum roll, please. We've got in third place, we've got the Dexter homage cover, Stray Dogs.
Guys, can I just point out this is the first time that I've been last?
At 25%, it is. We've got in second percent, we've got Tom with Usagi Yojimbo at 29%. And in first place, we have the Natalie Sanders variant B of the Detective Comics 1050 at 46%. So, yeah. We'll be adding to that slide, but I'm sure it will change throughout the year. We've got 52 shows to get to, so this is going to be up and down throughout the whole show. So yeah, that's great, but that's not all. No. So we had to show you this slide. We had to show you this slide. But then, obviously, next week, we kind of leave this in here. We show you a sneak peek of what we've got coming up next week. Now, you might think you know what's coming up, but you don't, because we have the fantastic team behind the maiden career. We've got Mr. Jeremy Holt. We've got Jules Shaw on the show. They will be joining us next week. They will be joining myself. They will be joining Andy, and they will be joining Tom from Not Quite Mint. We will be sitting down. We will be going through every single issue in depth of maiden career with the artist and the writer. There's nothing better than talking about one of the comics of 2021. What better way to give back to you guys than have the writer and the artist on the show and talk about it from start to finish? Why not?
I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it. Jeremy's just such a cool guy and a nice guy to speak to about comics and about life. And it's going to be really nice to meet George for the first time as well. And hopefully we won't give too many spoilers away. Obviously, we want you guys to go out and buy the book and buy the comics. So there won't be a huge amount of spoilers in it, but we will be trying to showcase the different issues that come out, give a little bit of the backstory, tell you a little bit about Jeremy's life and also George and how they sort of came together to make this book, and looking at other stuff that they've actually brought out as well, so that you can go in those back bins and pull out the books that they've written and drawn before.
And I think we can understand I think we can agree that if anyone in the chat and ourselves, we've been reading Maiden Career, I think this is only the start of Jeremy's career. Let's be honest, it took him 11 years to get noticed by Image for his first publication. I think it's going to be a good show. And Triple G, yes, you better get reading it before next week, mate, because we're looking to have the questions. We are looking forward to having the questions from you all.
I guess if you needed any other incentive to pick up Maiden Career, then this is a good one. If you guys want to go to your LCS or to Amazon or where you prefer to buy your trade paperbacks, pick it up, and let us know on socials, let us know on Instagram and hashtag the Killer Comic Show, and get your questions ready for next week, and I'm sure that we'll make the guys feel at home.
And it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it. And you guys are going to be with us joining that, as you were for Carla Cohen and the various other guests we've had on the show over the last year or so. But I think that's it. I think that's another show done. It's nearly 2 hours. We'll let the lovely people of YouTube get on to better things that they've got, instead of wasting their time for nearly 2 hours with a South East Londoner and a Scotsman.
Listen, I can't think of a better way to spend 2 hours on a Thursday evening. But no, in all seriousness, thanks to everybody that's been in the chat. The chat's been absolutely on fire. Thanks to everybody that's going to watch it on the rewind. And if you feel so inclined, give us that thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, please go and hit that subscribe button. We're heading towards 750 subscribers on the channel, which is absolutely fantastic. So we're heading towards that 1,000, and we've we'd like to maybe try and hit that number by the end of the year. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, because, whatever.
It is what it is. Massive shout out to Tim from the Hobgoblins Hideaway for making me a very happy man. I'm probably going to go to bed with this tonight.
Wow, okay. Weird.
But yeah,
it's yes. Huge shout out to Tim, and make sure that you go and sub up to Tim, or go and join the Facebook group, and check out the claim sale on the 5th of February.
There we go. Look, perfect timing. I just got my bedtime reminder, and with that, it's been another fantastic show. You guys in the chat have been absolutely buzzing. Thanks for everything. Thanks for the great questions and the great interaction you always have every single week. And with that note, we will say what Tom always says: stay safe, stay sexy.
Stay sexy.
Have a good one, guys.